morning, sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here tonight, ready to talk some college football and all the news and happenings that's taking place in college football uh, going on right now. I got my main man, Zaya, on the tube with me tonight. How you feeling today, Zen Master?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm ready to get into this football foodie, man.
Yeah, a lot's been going on, man. You got the portal, you got bowl games happening, you got the CFP, people complaining about who didn't get in, who deserved to get in, and all this other stuff, man. I'm like, hey, man, everybody had an opportunity to handle their own business. Handle your business and you in. You don't handle your business, you leave it up to somebody else to decide who's going to be in your spot.
Thanks.
Let's talk a little bit about this portal, man. And I want to get your thoughts on this question. What do you think these college football players are thinking about when they hit the portal? Now, think about that for a minute. Because I'm thinking to myself, why is Malik Murphy hitting the portal? He had a very good season last season with Duke. He led them to a 9-3 record. Why is he hitting the portal? What's going on with that, man? What's your thoughts on that?
It's always about the money. We talked about it a few weeks back. Yeah, I mean, everybody not going to the NFL. So some of y'all guys, we got to get our chips while we can get them. Malik Murphy is one of them guys. I mean, we think he a good college quarterback, but do we think he NFL? Not, I don't. You know what I mean? So you gotta go find the biggest bag that you can, because after you get your degree, you gotta go into the work field for a lot of guys. Now the upper echelon, I mean, the guys that know they're gonna have a draft spot, you don't gotta really think like that. I mean, the difference between 500,000 and 700,000 ain't really gonna matter to you, because you gonna walk into the NFL. Your signing bonus might be that 200,000 that you're missing out on, or much more, much larger. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, it's the bag. It's always the money. You got to follow the money. You know what I mean? This is in a time where we live in, where they say what? I think we went over. It's like less than 2% of the guys is going to the NFL, or it was some crazy percentage out of all the college football players. So that means the upper 90 percentile is going into the work field. This is going to be a lot of their largest paycheck ever. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna think of it like that, bro. I'm gonna follow the bag, literally. Follow the bag.
Do you think a better, I ain't gonna say it better. Do you think, like, let's say Malik Murphy, for instance, of course he's going to go for bigger money, but is he also trying to find a team that he feels could make the college football playoffs? Because we all know Duke's not making the college football playoffs. Well, we probably thought that about SMU too. I don't think Duke's gonna will ever make the college football playoffs. Do you think he's looking for that as well?
No, I think. What's up, Mossberg? I think
How's it going?
you make the choice of. They're making choices off the money first, and then the second thing they're making a choice off, because as humans, like, especially making it to that level of play, you're gonna be like, all right, bro, I can play on the highest level anyway. You know what I mean? You're gonna have that faith and belief that you can, regardless if you are able to or not. So I think they're making the choices off of the money, and then I think they're turning around and being like, all right, what program can get me to my dream, my closest to my dream of playing on Sundays in the NFL? Because, like, let's take Malik Murphy, since he's been the subject one. That is a dude that has all the God-given talent. Like, he got the arm strength. I mean, he just got all the physical attributes. But what is the problem with Malik Murphy in a lot of people's eyes? That we don't think he make good decisions, and that he doesn't process well. So you gonna try to get to somewhere to where in the NFL scouts' eyes, it looked like the best version of you. Like we seen it with Will Howard. Will Howard had a probably undrafted grade last year, but the fact that he came in Ohio State and he got 24 touchdowns and like 7 or 8 interceptions. Now he looking like a 6th or 7th rounder, a guy that you might draft, put on the practice squad, and give him $150,000 just to practice. So even that though, just being on the practice squad, you still making a different type of money than the average regular American. So no,
Right.
I don't think it's about nothing that got to do with really necessarily winning. It's the money, and then it's Sunday.
Okay. Mossberg, the question on the table is, what do you think these college football players are thinking about when they hit the portal?
And I agree with some of the things that Zen Master said as well, and making that right decision, making themselves, formidable for the next level. But the question is, when they do hit that transfer portal, what are they thinking? Are they thinking, can I get to the next level with this team that I'm moving to? Am I moving to this next team to get more touches than I did at the previous school? So a lot of them are wanting to be seen, of course, making that transfer to some schools to where they could make a statement with a different school and be seen more. But, being a former athlete, it's like as the weeks go on and we talk about the portal a lot, it's starting to seem so much of a normal thing. It's the new era. Everybody want to go where they want to be seen, they want to fit in, and what's going to get them to that next level, perhaps. And those are some of the things I think that they're thinking when they make these moves and transitions, and trying to get with a better team, of course, like you said with Will Howard.
Yeah, so from what I'm hearing is it sounds like there's multiple variables. I mean, almost each case might be different from
Yeah,
another case. I mean, when we talk about Malik Murphy, we know it's not, it can't be wins, right? Because he won 9 games this year. He went
yeah,
9-3. So it ain't about going to another team to get the wins. Maybe it is what Zaya said. He's trying to go to a system where maybe he could be seen more by NFL scouts, maybe
yeah,
polish up on his decision making, his accuracy, things like that. But then I'm looking at a guy like Darian Gillette, who plays linebacker for Texas, and it's like he hits the portal, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, we about to lose 2 linebackers.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You about to get some run.
A
I
lot of
mean, you've been there for, I think this is his second year.
yeah,
I'm like, dude, you've been. Plus, he got hurt. That's why you haven't seen him on the field because he got hurt.
yeah,
But I'm like, dude, this is your time. Blackwell's gone. David Bender's gone. Only one you really got to worry about is Ty Anthony Smith. On the bench is Ty Anthony Smith. He's the only other one, and you can go in there and fill in for Leona LaFave. You
yeah,
know, I'm thinking to myself, dude, why are you leaving Texas? Because I know it ain't money. Because Texas can match anybody in the country.
yeah,
If they want to. So I'm just curious to know what these players think about when they decide I'm gonna hit the portal. And everything y'all said holds true because I'm quite sure in not every, but in certain situations that's the case. That they hit in the portal for whatever those variations of reasons are. And I just man, it's hard for me to understand sometimes.
yeah. I agree with you.
The last thing too, man. You don't never know, bro. Like what these coaches are saying to these recruits to get them on campus, bro. And I
Yeah,
think that play a role too, bro. They can be making blind promises. It
Yeah.
happened to me when I got recruited. So I mean, I got on campus and it's 3 more guards on campus that I didn't even know was coming. Like I'm like, bro, what's up? I thought I was next. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's like you never know, bro, what's being said, bro. So I mean, it's a whole bunch of different variables, and then you got different personalities. So you never know how something gonna rub somebody and how they gonna react to any certain situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Everything you just said right there is very, very true. Very true. Are there any players who have hit the portal that have surprised you so far? I know Malik Murphy surprised the hell out of me. So, is there anybody out there that surprised you other than Malik Murphy?
What is bro's name? Hold on, let me find bro's name. Hold up.
I'm
It's
trying to.
one dude, bro. It's one dude for real.
For me, it was seeing Alabama's wide receiving corps. Just to like, I can't even single out a player. I think they have one of the best young corps coming in, even though they said that Bama has another recruit coming in as far as in just a load of players, but just to see that many receivers leave one school in the portal at the same time, you know, that definitely surprised me because Alabama, I felt, the next 2 years they had quite a few receivers. I think that was very talented, even though they were young and they could do some things. So just never know what they thinking.
Yeah, mine's is the receiver from Georgia Tech that was killing Bama. He was killing Bama.
He hit the portal.
Yeah, number 13.
Wow.
He hit the portal. Well, let me see. What's bro's name, bro? I'm trying to find his name, bro.
Because I seen the Malik Murphy this morning.
They had two
That,
dudes. They had two dudes. It was 13 and number 11. Them dudes was taking off in that game, though.
yeah. But
Eric Singleton. That's his name.
Singleton is nice. Yes.
Yeah,
He's
he
young too. I
nice.
think
I'm
he's like a
like,
junior.
I mean, he in the portal.
But
He made it enough, huh?
I don't blame them for hitting the portal because Georgia Tech is not a pass happy team or a team that
Yeah.
even pass a lot. They want to run the football. And those
So,
dudes, they can make some noise catching that football,
Catching
man.
that football somewhere
I
else.
don't blame them dudes for leaving. I would have been like,
you know why I
thank you,
don't think
Georgia Tech, but I got to go.
the only reason why I feel like he shouldn't have left is because that Haynes King, he's a monster.
He nice.
And it's like you got the quarterback, dog, and then you got like a lot of the skill on the outside, and even the running back. He was banged up in that game, but he nice too. So
Yeah.
if they could just shore up their defense, I feel like they could have won the ACC next year easily.
Then
You know what I
Calvin.
mean? Because you got the dude at quarterback. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think like if they could have retained all their guys, man, I don't see why they couldn't win the ACC next year. I just didn't see why they couldn't. You know what I mean? You just had to shore up some things. You know what I mean?
They're tough out. They play tough in the ACC. I think just that run, how much they run the football, and like I would say that's probably Singleton. I can't think of a receiver really that commands it and that does it that good. If I'm not mistaken, Calvin Johnson was at Georgia Tech,
Yeah.
and that's the best thing I've seen since Calvin Johnson, receiver wise, that I could think out of was Georgia Tech. So that's definitely a big loss for them.
I got one more guy too that I just thought of. Kendrick Law from Alabama, the speedster. He's a speed guy. I couldn't believe that he left because really he was the next man up. I feel like him and Ryan Williams, you pair them up next year and you got something dangerous.
That's one of the three. Yeah.
Yeah, you got something real. And listen, I know him by name because I played with him on college football, dog. And he got like a 96 speed on college football, 97 speed or something on college football. He crazy, dog. He was
Yeah,
next up, though. They done had like 2 or 3 dudes jump in the portal on the receiver side.
Three of
yeah,
them.
because them
3 of
dudes, they don't. Whoever gonna throw them the football next year is either gonna be a young dude who's up and coming, who's probably gonna be good eventually. But they ain't trying to be out there with no freshman quarterback, man, who gonna have to go through his woes. They want to go find a veteran quarterback or somebody they know that got some experience that they can go play with. That's why Isaiah Bond jumped in the portal and came to Texas because he knew Jalen Milroe wasn't really a passing quarterback. He went to Texas because he knew Quinn Ewers was going to be able to throw him the rock. I'm hoping he come back because he didn't have the season that he was expecting. I doubt if he do, but because the NFL scouts is high up on his potential and what he can be. So he's probably not, but I wish he would.
If he come back, that receiving room in Texas gonna be crazy.
If him and Matthew Golden come back, shit, boy, they gonna be
Man,
hell on wheels.
See, that's why I be saying you never know how somebody think, bro. Like, I would have took Milrow over Ewers, dog. I just would have, cause I would have been in the mindset like, dang, they gonna have to account for this dude running, so I'm gonna be open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. I
You
would
look
have
at it that way. You could definitely look at it that way, for sure. Last year, over 4,000 players jumped in the portal. Will it be more this year?
Man, give or take, I think it's always gonna be around that number. Like give or take, anywhere between 35 to 4,500. Just because you gonna always have these schools pushing kids out. They're always gonna push kids out. Now you gonna have your kids that's stuck in between the depth chart between the freshmen coming in and the upperclassmen that they're already behind. That's just gonna leave. But it's also gonna be them guys that the coach go to like, hey, I need to free up this scholarship, man. I don't see you about to be. You're not probably gonna come out playing too many snaps, and you're not gonna get too many reps. It might be best for you to look elsewhere. You know what I mean? And
right.
we know we can take one example. Prime is gonna do it every year, and he the only one that's not gonna hide the fact that he doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about all the coaches gonna do it that's gonna hide it though. Like coaches is pushing guys out, bro. So I mean, I know it's a jacked up game, but this is the era that we live in, bro. You getting paid to play now, so bro, it's not nothing grimy. Yeah, you snatching scholarships, yeah, but hey, it's just the world we live in.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Man, 4,000. I didn't realize there was that many. As of yesterday, they said it was 1537 already. And that was
and that's before the season end, Moss.
So
because the season ended yet.
The season ain't even. Listen, we got 2 more transfer portal sessions.
I say it's gonna be that probably, and so like it seemed like the new era. I mean, the thing of sports is, and it seemed to start with other sports, and it kind of trickles in different ways. Of when you got the NBA and free agency, now you got college football with a portal nil deals. So I think that's the free agency, and the nil is that destination. So I think it's definitely going to reach that point. And, for us, I think, I'm a fan of just watching good, whether it's football, basketball, whatever the sport may be. But I think this college football, it's definitely shaking the landscape. And the reason I'm liking it is because we have a SMU who lost in the championship game who's still in the playoff. We have a Penn State that nobody thought would be there. You have these things now with this transfer portal. So I like it. There's some things I wish, and we all talk about that. We want them to progress in and definitely cementing down for us to be able to have a better look at it and how we see things. But it's just definitely going to be more this year. I definitely see that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That portal it's nuts. And I agree with you, Isaiah. Listen, I can tell you for certainty, Steve Sarkisian has exit interviews, bro, and he tell those players, listen, he tell them, it's not looking good for you. You might as well go ahead. I will give a good recommendation for you.
Okay.
But we don't have no room for you here. Free that space up, bro. But I will tell any team you want to go to, you're getting a hell of a player. Because they do. It's just he got other things in mind for some other people, man. And sometimes you just don't fit in the equation. That's how it was for Malik Murphy. He knew. He's like, man, listen, Arch Manning is on campus. I better get out of here while the getting is good.
Man, but look too though, this is what's crazy. You still gonna have them 5 to 8 upper echelon programs that got number twos that can go to an Indiana and start. That
Oh
can
yeah,
go, yeah, I mean that can go to a South Carolina and be in the 2D. You got, bro. These are blue bloods, bro. We getting the best of the best each year and each out, man.
Yeah,
So it ain't like, bro, if you look at let's just take Texas and Ohio State. If you look at our recruiting class, bro, you could tell by looking at it. Some of these guys is just GPA guys to boost
right.
the team GPA.
yeah, yeah.
And they just like, all right, yeah, I know I ain't really, I could probably work my way up into that, but I just got to put in the work. But I'm really here to get an education, you know what I mean, and do it that way because there's still kids out here that think like that. Believe it or not, people
Oh
don't
yeah,
want to believe it, but it's kids that think like that.
oh yeah.
So, but if you look at the recruiting rankings, I mean, just look at position rankings. We recruiting top 10 dudes in each position that we grabbing for real. We ain't taking nothing that ain't the best of the best. If you taking a linebacker and he the seventh best linebacker in the country, and he go to Texas or Ohio State or Georgia or Bama,
Right.
even Florida State, he is exactly where he's supposed to be because he is the best of the best in his position group. And each year it's like that. And it's going to be some misses when you go because the scouting department mess up sometime too. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
it always work out for real. You know, like Devin Brown hopped in the portal. He was another guy that's like, okay, we don't think he got enough for Ohio State. We gave him every opportunity to take that job. I think he was fake injured in the Cotton Bowl last year. He went out on like the second series. I'm like, come on, bro, this your chance. Hey, if he would have came in that game and balled out, nobody would have ever even transferred in. They would have been like, oh, it's his job.
Yeah.
Right, right.
But I think the lights was too bright for him. But he wanted to pump out his chest and act like something different. But I seen it in his eyes. You know what I mean? So it's just like, bro, you is what you is. You know what I mean? You are what you are, bro.
That's why I
Yeah,
wasn't surprised with his transfer because he's just not. He's not the quarterback for Ohio State. They
You can
was
see
gonna
it in his
tear him
eyes.
up, man.
You can see it in his eyes. All you gotta do is look in somebody's eyes for real. They'll tell you.
yeah, yeah. Let's switch gears a little bit. We've been hearing a lot of news coming out of Colorado from Coach Sanders saying that all of his guys is playing in this bowl game, man.
I like it.
Let me ask y'all this. Will every player play in this Colorado's bowl game, especially Sanders and Hunter?
I think this is the thing. It's crazy because I seen that, and I seen another video. And remember last week I spoke about Cam Moore and Shador Sanders. They had a little FaceTime with each other. I think they gonna really play because I think Shador and Cam is having this battle right now of who has the best bowl game, and it's been going on with them for years. They said they wanted to play each other. They wanted that Miami, Colorado. That's the game that should have been made up for this bowl series. They was going crazy about it, and I think Sanders is definitely gonna play everybody. I think it's. I think I'm gonna tip my hat to him because as he's already, changed the landscape of college football with the transfer portal, doing what he's doing, a lot of different things there in Boulder. I think he changed the landscape with playing these players and prime players and Sanders and Hunter in the bowl game. And I think that's going to be something to look at after this year. You never know.
Hey, I'm gonna hit on both of y'all points. WTP Sport dude, I'm gonna start with you. Um, I think so. Now I'm gonna start with you, Moss, because you talk about the Ward and the Sanders thing. That's just fresh on my brain of me watching them before college football season even started. You know, they workout partners.
Yeah,
So they was always getting it in. It was always competition. You could just see it. It was thriving. Um, them guys want to compete
yeah,
regardless. They just football dudes. You know what I mean? You don't really find people that just be football dudes, like, or just whatever your sport is. They're just about their sport and their craft. So any chance they could take to get better, and we always say Ain't nothing like game reps. That used to always be a thing we said.
Yeah.
Game reps, game reps, game reps. Because you could try to emulate anything you want in practice. It's not the game. So, but WTP Sports dude with Prime and all them dudes playing, they're not. I think all of them gonna play, even Travis, because they love him not as only as a coach but as a father figure. You're not playing for him. You're not about to go out on a bad term if you feel like this is about to be your last game. You're gonna go out there and you're gonna give it all, give it your all on the field. I'm pretty sure Travis got insurance. Shador got insurance. If they get injured, I'm pretty sure they got insurance, dog. If they get a season ending or a lifetime injury, they probably getting 5-10 million or something. You know what I mean? Something crazy. So they gonna go out on that field, bro, and they gonna play one last time for Prime because they don't never know if they gonna ever play for him again. You know what I mean? And that just speak volumes on their character. You feel me? Like a lot of these dudes be wanting to sit out. So now I think everybody on that Colorado team. I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's gonna happen at every program, but just for that program specifically, because of that dude that's leading them, I think they're gonna all play.
Man, that makes a lot of sense. I never even thought about it in that way. I'm glad you said that. Let me ask y'all this. What should the plan be to get those NFL prospect players to play in these bowl games when some play in the senior bowls? I remember while y'all thinking about that question, I remember a few years ago, my man Roshan Johnson, the year we lost to Washington, the first year in the bowl game. Roshan Johnson, our running back up to Bijan Robinson, did not play. But then when he
Damn.
participated in the Senior Bowl and got hurt, I'm sitting there like, dude. Now I understood Bijan not playing. I understood that. I
Yeah.
did. Even though I wanted him to play, I understood that. But dude, Roshan Johnson, you should have played, man. That was your time to be the main dude and get all the shine, bro. And he didn't play, but he went and played in the Senior Bowl and got hurt. Matter of fact, I only think he got to play in the bowl. He got hurt in practice. So, what's y'all's thoughts on that? Should there be a plan in place to try to get these NFL prospect players to play in these bowl games, even if they're planning on playing in those Senior Bowls? What's y'all's thoughts?
It's something that you asked that question. I think it's a good question. And since you got the nil, you got all this money out there, you plan for the money. Go ahead and make it to where if they're going to the NFL, they have to play in that bowl game. You want to go to the NFL, you have to play in that bowl game. That's one of the best opportunities, in my opinion, for the scouts to look at you. I know how important the Senior Bowl is. To me, that's like an AFC Pro Bowl game, AFC NFC Pro Bowl. That's just how I look at the Senior Bowl. I feel like bowl games, you get more of a view of a player, because there's games within the game in those moments, and you just have those great matchups. And with this playoff, I think you have to have the NFL prospects playing the bowl games, and it just gotta. That's just part of the plan. It just has to happen, I think, because it's gonna be more people stepping down, not playing, and you not gonna get the best look that you want, and you never know what could happen. Gain weight, lose weight, not in shape. So all those things to factor in as well.
Man, listen. My solution to this is just how they do it in the NBA with the NBA Cup. You be like, all right, you got 85, what? You got 85 players on the roster, give or take. Let's do some math real quick. You be like, hey, y'all go out and y'all win this game, everybody get 20,000. That come out to what? 1,700,000. Then you'd be like, just for participation though, if y'all don't win this game, we give y'all $10,000. We got the money. You know what I mean? We got the money. So you might as well incentivize them with a paycheck. I mean, that's what they do in the NBA Cup. They say if you win the NBA Cup, you get like 250,000 each or something like 100,000 or something. You got to incentivize them to play because a lot of dudes is like the upper echelon of dudes, the NFL dudes. I feel like they'd be like, all right, we got to not only look out for ourselves, but what about these dudes that's like just getting degrees and is about to move on to life? They can use that 20 racks. You know what I mean? And
Right.
you already creating a brotherhood when you play on these teams. We know we all done played on sports teams, and we all done got our favorite team that we ever played on, bro. So these are some of these guys' favorite teams, bro. Especially if you are a junior going into the NFL. Especially if you're a senior and you finishing out your senior year at this team, bro. These are your brothers for real. You gonna remember these guys for life. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Man, you got to incentivize them with a check, bro. So they'll play for the man at the bottom of the barrel, though. You know what I mean? You can't just send them out there for nothing to play for, though. Because I mean, what is he gonna do? Like, or you be like, man, go ahead. You be like, I'm gonna let him eat. I mean, it ain't gonna do that for me, but maybe he could pop off in the game. I mean, that's the incentive that they got now. They be like, I'm gonna let the next man up, bro. Maybe he can get seen real quick.
That's
So
it.
I think you gotta offer him some money, bro. We throwing all this money around. You gotta offer some money.
I
Yeah.
agree. It's a good point too.
I'm glad you said that too, because I'm thinking to myself, listen, if I'm a sponsor of one of the bowl games, if I'm the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, bro, I already know I got mad bread.
Bread in the bank.
I want the stands to be packed. I'm telling both teams, listen, we gonna stack this daggone stadium. I need all of y'all to play, and this is what I'm giving every player who commits to playing in this game. I'm giving you X amount of dollars, and it depends on how much money I think I'm gonna make, or how much money I'm gonna give them. It might be more than the 20.
Yeah.
But I'm like, listen, it's gonna be increments though, because if a guy ain't playing at all, he ain't getting on the field. He might only get 5 stacks, but he gonna get something. If I'm a sponsor, that's what I. Could you imagine how much money they losing when these guys decide they're not playing and then the fans don't come?
Man, that's
They should be the ones saying, listen, it's my bowl game. I'm the sponsor of it. I'm trying to make some bread. I need these dudes to play, and
yeah.
this is how I'm going to get them to play. I got money for you if you play in this game.
Yeah. I agree with both of your points. I like that one there. That I hope Tostitos hear us on here today, man. That's a good one. And Zen Master, they hearing you too, man. Like you got to do that. You have nil money that's out there, so you we know the money is out there. They're gonna play for that. Let's see if that hits the landscape. We said it here first, people. I don't think we heard that on the desk yet, but that's a good one. I like that.
Man, listen, do you know what made me say that though? It's
They get
like,
paid a lot of money
bro,
too for
I
having
can
a
think,
team.
I can think maybe like probably 10 to 15 years back. I remember them telling us on TV that every player that played in the Sugar Bowl that Ohio State went to got some headphones and I think like a PlayStation 4
Yeah.
and they got, you know what I mean? Like they just gave them gifts.
If you go look it up, bro, like I be looking that up every year. No lie. Every year I look up what each team get for getting to the bowl games. Man, you'll be surprised at what they getting them something. When I say it's
For
like
sure.
2 Christmas gifts in one, it's like you getting Christmas 10 times in one basket, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they hooking them up. So if you add money to that, man, they playing. So I think that's a no brainer. You want to see them play, put the money there. The stand's gonna get filled. That money gonna be back times 10 as well.
Hey, and I ain't necessarily so much worried about like the playoffs, like we was talking about the Fiesta Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. I'm worried about the lower bowls. Them are the games that guys is going to sit out for real. Now, people they're suit up to go get a natty real quick and get that hardware if they feel like they got a good chance. I ain't worried about them guys, but I think they need to be compensated too. You know what I mean? Because I mean, let's just be honest. What do we think a quarterfinal game between uh Ohio State and Oregon? How much money do we think that game will make? Over 100 million easily.
Oh,
Like it's
easily, easily.
we can't really even put a number on it because we're not in that realm. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So like you making $100 million, dog. You can't afford to pay each team 2 million to their players. That's 20 racks.
yeah.
That's just 20,000, bro. 2 million. But we already know the NCAA is greedy. That's why we trying to kick them out now.
Greedy. Let me ask y'all this. Should bowl games get away from the bowl game format that they use now? For instance, like say for instance, the Big 12 runner-up plays the SEC runner-up. That kind of format that they got. The ACC's third place team plays the Big Ten's third place team. Do you think they should get away from that kind of a format and just whatever, like remember back in the days, whatever the highest bowl was that year that was going to have the national championship, they got those two best teams, and then everybody else got to sort of pick who they wanted, and they sent them invitations, and if they accepted it, you got them. If they didn't accept it because they was waiting on a bigger bowl, you had to wait. What's y'all's thoughts on that? Should they get away from that format? If you do third place in this division, in this conference, and third place in that conference, y'all play each other. What do y'all think?
I think they should. I liked it back when the biggest bowl was the national championship. Whichever one did the most and whatnot. I like that format more so than this new matchup. It's like they trying to make a matchup that be a first time matchups in ways of however it falls sometimes. But I think you'll see more better matchups going away from the format, and even putting those teams in some kind of a pool to where you branch it out and they playing each other based on their record, similar to the playoff format. Because I think you'll have more fireworks in the college football world. Not that it's not done already, but it'll just add to it. So I say go away from it.
Yeah, man, this is a great question because when you create stuff like this, it needs to be a lot of man brain behind it to actually really figure it out and get it right. And like the first thing that popped in my head when you asked the question, WTP Sports Dude, was literally that I think it need to be stimulations in it. Like I like the format, but I think it could be tweaked a lot. Like to where it's like, all right, say you got your top 15 teams, you might have four SEC teams in there, and then you might have three Big Ten teams. I think the schedule need to be set for like maybe a 5-year basis where you be like, all right, these are the main two conferences in college football. Maybe the two should play the three, and then the two from the other side play the other three. But if you got a certain amount of teams in that top 15, then we tweak it like this or we tweak it like that just to get the best matchups. Because who is it? Who did I see, man? West Virginia is playing Memphis. I don't want to watch that game. Like, come on, bro. Like, we got a 10-2 Memphis team playing a 6-6 West Virginia team. I do not want to watch that, bro. Like, that's a bad matchup, bro. And we talking about. I know we're not talking about like. We talking about a non Power 5 team that played their tails off, and then we talking about a Power 5 team, quote unquote, in the Big 12 with West Virginia that was like middle to lower pack in their conference. Bro, why we couldn't get like a Memphis versus Army, somebody that's on their level, on their trajectory, like you know what I mean, like the same, and they both ranked too. So like, why we couldn't get that type of matchup, and why we couldn't put a West Virginia team against like a Nebraska or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's where it killed me. It tweaked me out. Like, and that's where I'd be like, man, they could tweak this way much more, and it could still be like kind of the same format because we still what y'all cannot say about how it is done. we still get matchups that we never see. You know, and that's the part that I do not want to take out of it. So I don't know. It's it take a lot of man brain, bro. I'm telling you, like it's gonna take like really 30 people is like the amount of people I feel like you probably should have like a few people on every side of the country, you know, uh, really trying to think this through because it's a lot of man brain that needs to be talked about with this type of situation.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you brought up that point too, man. Memphis against West Virginia,
Man,
because I
like
was,
nobody want to watch that, bro.
yeah. I'm glad you said it though, because I was gonna mention the year that Texas played Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and Texas was 9-4, and Georgia was like 11-1 or 12-1. They only lost the undefeated Alabama team, and they had no interest in playing Texas whatsoever. They was like, dude, we gotta play a 9-4 Texas team. We don't want to play them bums. We 11-1, 12-1, whatever they were. That's like, man, we don't want to play them dudes. And Texas went with their butt because they was not interested in even playing that team like Texas. They wanted to play somebody with a much better record that had a much better football team.
And I'm glad you just said it like that too, because now it made me think like, all right, the little thing that you could twist in there is be like, all right, 11-1. You had 11-1 Georgia versus 9-4 Texas. I don't know what Texas finished in the conference that year, but you can be like, all right, since we got 11-1 Georgia, y'all gonna play this team from this conference. They might have been 3, 4, or whatever. But if they are out of the top 10, then you play the next best team that's available. You know what I mean? Something
Yeah,
like that. It gotta be
yeah,
like you gotta really get in there and write like certain guidelines in between the first line and the last line. You gotta have guidelines. You know what I mean? And that's a
Yes.
way we can solve the issue.
Right. I agree.
All right, let's change pace again. Let's look at this. Many believe that the committee got it wrong. Did they?
Uh,
Nah, Bama didn't deserve to be in, even though we wanted them in. We all felt a certain way. That's just my opinion. I think I like what they did. I mean, I talked to a couple people that's Bama fans, and they said Bama don't deserve to be in. They said we didn't deserve to be in, and I think the main thing they talked about as well. We talked about it. I think I was trying to remember if it started the second week or the third week about the conference championships. They said they're gonna have to get rid of the conference championships, and that's something I just try to overload with what other people think about and some of their thoughts to try to break down and sit back like these are things we talk about. So I feel they did everything just the way it should have been. Maybe they punished Ohio State for not getting to the Big Ten championship and losing to Michigan and not putting them above Penn State. But, that could go either way. Just my opinion.
I'm gonna say they got it right and wrong. I lean a little towards more right than wrong though, because
Yeah.
of just how the playoff is set up right now. It's really their hands is tied, bro. Like I feel like South Carolina should have been in the playoffs, but Clemson, how the rules is written, they had to get in. So, do you leave SMU out? Like you couldn't do that. But do you size up South Carolina against Indiana? Do you size them up, and then do you leave Indiana out and they lost
Right.
once,
Right.
even though they ain't played nobody on the record? They did not play nobody, and when they did, they got crushed by my boys. So that's like one of the hardest jobs in America, man. I wouldn't run to beat them, but I picked to beat them over the president. You know what I mean? So I don't. I mean, yeah. I mean, they did the best they could do, bro. They got to just change the letter of the law with that stuff, man. The letter of the law is just jacked up with it.
Yeah. I mean, because just think about this real quick. Is it the 12 best teams? Because you mentioned South Carolina and Mossberg mentioned Alabama. Now, I think we all can agree that Alabama will probably beat Indiana, and South Carolina will probably beat Indiana. They probably will beat SMU, and they probably will beat Clemson. Is it the 12 best teams?
See, I
I
think it
don't
got to
think
be that perfect balance, dog. I think just because they got me so whacked out still from last year when they didn't put Florida State in, bro, and we were just at the four teams. That still killed me. It's like, bro, y'all don't think they could have went through? And I know how they looked it, but I'm just saying, like, they didn't know how they was gonna look in a bowl game before they left them out. I'm like, this is a 12-0 team, dog. Yeah, I get that they lost their leader, their quarterback, but y'all don't think they can go through bowl practice and get some stuff drawn up and get him through that game and look competitive? That's what I'm. So I think it's like best and deserving. You got to go with deserving too because
yeah,
bro, it's a long season, bro. No, ain't nobody going 11-1 and 12-0 for just on accident. That's
right.
just my firm belief, dog. Because you still got to show up and you got to play that game. You're not just going like that, bro. And anytime you hear all the great coaches, Nick Saban and the Urban Meyers of the world, you know what I mean, the Kirby Smarts, they all say the same thing. You need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is at this point. And I agree with you, Isaiah. They did what they had to do. I mean, they couldn't afford to. I mean, even if say for instance, if they put Alabama in, then they would have caught hell about that. You know,
Facts.
you always gonna catch hell about whatever decision you make because there's gonna be a million people that don't agree with your decision.
Right. And when you had mentioned about the best teams in like South Carolina, speaking of Alabama, like I really wonder, like, should they have a vote from the people to
I'll
get
be
even
right back.
a perception about the 12 best teams? Because let's just think about it. If you put a team like Colorado in the 12 team playoff just playing against somebody, we don't know what's going to happen. They're going to sell tickets. So I think that momentum increases the opportunity of odds being upset. People would look at it, oh, Colorado too small or whatnot. Nah, this is why it's a playoff. So when you're looking at best teams, I think if we go by best teams and things like that, I think it'll definitely be something. Because I still even look at how you speak on South Carolina. You look at the best teams, the hottest teams, the fans gonna have something to say for sure. And South Carolina, Colorado, them were some teams that was hot. Throw them in the playoff, it's a lot going down. So they definitely got to check on something with this and see what's the best way to give us what we want to see. Because I would love to see Colorado in there. I would like to see Alabama in there for the fun of it, But I feel they did the best job at what it was for them, I guess, to do this year, for us to do what we do.
Hey Richard, I see you. I see what you saying, but too, I was definitely gonna ask this question, but since you comment that, I want to say this too. I wanted to ask y'all if Oklahoma or Vanderbilt was
Hmm,
in the ACC, what would their record have been? Do we think their record would have been even better?
it's a good question. I just,
Uh, I think Alabama's record would have been better.
yeah,
You don't think Oklahoma or Vanderbilt would have had better records in the
I, I
ACC?
I don't know about Oklahoma simply because they had lost too much to injuries. So
yeah.
I don't know what they would have looked like. But Vanderbilt, what did Vanderbilt final record was? What 8-5? No,
No, they
seven
was
and five.
six. They was 6-6.
Vanderbilt was 6-6. Well, okay, they probably would have been 7-5 in the ACC.
All
Yeah.
right, let me ask y'all one more question. Take them same two teams and switch them with Indiana and give them the same exact schedule, what would their record have been?
You saying Vanderbilt or Oklahoma?
Yeah, and switch them with Indiana and give them the same exact schedule that Indiana played. What would have been their record?
Vandy would have lost to Wisconsin. They would have lost to Michigan. They would have lost to Ohio State.
Hold on. Indiana ain't played Wisconsin. You said they would have lost to Michigan.
No, it was. Hold on, was it?
I'm gonna read off their schedule real quick. They played FIU, Western Illinois, UCLA, Charlotte, Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska, Washington, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, then Purdue.
Dang.
They both would have been. They both would have been 9-3, 10-2, bro.
That's what I was about to say. They would have went above and beyond because that's a trash schedule. That's a trash schedule, man. Coming from the Big Ten.
Hey, it ain't. This is not just a Big Ten problem though. This a big power conference problem because now you got all these teams, bro. You never know what year this team is going to be better than the other middle pack of teams. You know what I mean? This is a middle pack team, and these is middle pack teams. You never know which one is going to be the best one. So now you're going to get these games that they schedule that's going to be deflated because they're not going to put up certain schools up against the Oregons every year and the Ohio States because they want their biggest games to be Oregon and Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan versus Michigan State. They're not going to schedule it like that. It's not even possible. Penn State versus Washington. You know what I mean? They're not going to be able to schedule it like that because it's so many teams, bro. It's so many teams in each conference now.
Well, you know the SEC is doing home and home. Like the same schedule that Texas played this year, they play the same exact schedule next year, except the place where you play is different. Like we had Georgia in Austin this year, we got Georgia in Athens next year.
Yeah, I don't think that's good either.
Well, it's what they got to go with for now until they can. I think
Figure it out.
eventually they're gonna move into divisions. I think eventually, I think they're gonna move into divisions. But first, what they're trying to do is get the TV people to get them a little bit more money to play a ninth game. Like y'all played 9 games this year. This year, the SEC only played 8.
Yeah.
So they trying to get the TV people to get them more money to play that ninth game.
Right.
See, if the SEC go down the division route, that'll be bad because the Big Ten already showed y'all that that's bad because we had for the whole longest period of time, all our best teams was on one side of the division. So you will see 11-1 or 12-0 Ohio State going up against a 8-4 team in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
why divisions don't work.
Yeah. Well, we have to wait and see what they're gonna do. I just hope they get to the super conferences pretty soon and get down to 2 super conferences, and then we don't have to worry about all
Yeah,
this other stuff.
for sure.
Yeah, I hope what happened is the SEC go ahead and add that ninth game, and then both of the conferences just agree, and then they talk to the committee. They be like, "Hey, we're gonna be playing this certain big boy schedule. We're all gonna be playing 10 Power 5 schools each year. So you gotta give us these certain amount of bids according to how many teams is y'all putting in the playoffs each year, and then on top of that, it should be like, all right, we leave it at the 12 just for hypothetical purposes. You be like, all right, Big Ten and the SEC, y'all get 3 apiece. Y'all conference champion is gonna be automatically guaranteed a bid. Now, if that's one of the 3 teams that already won, that's already in, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just draw the next best that we think is going that we think is playoff worthy. You know what I mean? If y'all have a next best that we think is playoff worthy. So that way it'll even out. One year it might be 3 in the Big Ten, and that same year it might be 4 in the SEC, and then you can shuffle in who you think is best out there with the Big 12 and the ACC. But that'll also make the SEC and the Big Ten, which is notoriously known as the two best conferences right now, that'll also make them play a non-conference game against each other. You have to tell them, you have to schedule somebody in the Big Ten if you're the SEC in non-conference play. We don't care who it is because we already acknowledged that these are the two best conferences. So if you're Alabama and you want to schedule Purdue for home and home 2 years in a row, go ahead. We're going to leave that up to y'all's discretion. But in order for that to work too, both teams got to get to the same number of teams in the conference. I don't know what the numbers look like though.
Right.
So, man, Evan, the reporter, put that per Jacksonville State beat reporters, Rich Rod has agreed to return to West Virginia to be their head coach, and an announcement is expected tomorrow. Listen, I think Rich Rod fits his scheme and his style of play fits perfectly
For
in
West
the
Virginia.
perfectly in the Big 12 too.
That's
So I'm anxious to see him get back to West Virginia, man, and be in that Big 12 with his style of play.
right.
I think that's a really good move by West Virginia. I
Yeah.
mean, we never even knew about West Virginia until Rich Rod got there.
Yeah,
Facts.
exactly. I think that portal about to start jumping again.
Who was
Yeah.
that? Who was he there with? Pat? Was it Pat White?
Pat White.
Pat
Yeah.
White,
Ooh.
Yeah, Gino too.
Geno
I
Smith.
think it's Gino too.
Yeah.
Rich Rod, he gonna do his thing.
Rich Rod was something different with that RPO, man.
They played Texas, man, about maybe 3 or 4 times. And I wanted to go to the West Virginia game, man, but I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I was not about to be dealing with them folks down there, man. And I got my Texas gear on, and they wired. I was like, nah, I'm not even gonna set myself up like that. But a friend of mine, she graduated from there. Used to be the principal at Windsor. She actually was a teacher at Windsor too, and she's an alumni there. She said, "Oh, you should come down here. They ain't gonna bother you." I said, "Okay, I hear you."
I hear you.
As much stuff as I would have been talking, that was ready to kill me. That was ready to kill me.
They go.
Hey, and while we talking about that, if any of my people watching, man, I owe somebody some money, man. I said they was gonna get the 9 wins this year. I owe somebody some money. I don't remember, but if you let me know, I am willing to pay my bet that I owe.
Man.
He said, additionally, Rich Rod sold West Virginia on the ability to bring significant staff with him to Morgantown. Notably, he is expected to bring former LSU head coach Les Miles to Morgantown as the DC.
He
Man.
trolling.
Hey, man, listen.
Nah, he trolling, dog.
He trolling?
Yeah, he
You
trolling.
ain't trolling, are you, Evan the reporter? You trolling?
Nah, he trolling, dog.
I was about to say, because I
He
do
got
not
us.
Evan the
He trolling
reporter.
us.
Man.
Hey,
We was rolling off of it. He
Evan
trolling,
the
dog.
reporter, just put in the chat yes or no if you are trolling us or not.
Bro,
Yes
he
or
trolling,
no,
dog.
Evan the reporter.
I can't believe I just went for that, dog.
We are currently researching West V. I'm on my phone right now, checking to see what's going on.
Let me ask y'all this while he researching that. Who has the easiest route to the semifinal game?
I would have to say Arizona State, the way I look at it right now, because I personally think that is the hottest team in the country. No. Clemson play Texas, don't they?
Yeah.
Who Arizona State play?
They play the winner of Clemson, Texas.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping. Hold on. Hey, somebody run down the first round for me.
It's true.
So,
Evan.
oh, yeah.
It's not.
And Les Miles is banging out?
It says Gordon G weighs in on potential for Rich Rodriguez to be next West Virginia football coach, and this was reported at 7:34 p.m. So,
See, y'all know why I got a problem with this report and why I thought Evan was trolling. I'm sorry, Evan. I didn't mean to disrespect your credibility, man. But listen, bro, this is what I have a problem with. Out of all the schools, why did they choose West Virginia? They could have went to UCLA and did the same thing or something.
No, UCLA is a different game, man. Out there,
Rich Rod, that fits him, man. That
they
physical
don't have no
nature.
money. UCLA
Chip
ain't got no money, bro. UCLA ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
well,
ain't got no money, bro.
okay, okay. I got another one for you. Get Lincoln Riley the hell out of there. USC.
USC ain't taking Rich Rod, bro.
I mean, it's like us. It's not the same offense, but it's up the same alley.
who the OC, Evan? Who the OC?
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'm
tell us
looking
who
at
the OC is. Y'all think about who got the easiest route to the semifinals, man. I think it's
I want to see who
Penn
about
State.
said the OC is real. Now he got me rolling, dog.
Oh man, hey, listen to this OC. Dan Mullen is coming from commentating. Dan Mullen, bro, they might be good, man, in a couple years.
Wow.
They gonna be good tomorrow.
He said tomorrow.
Oh my God, dog. Man, hey, cause look, this is what I'm thinking. Like, bro, them players from Florida is going. Like
You said what?
Lagway, ain't Dan Mullen at Florida?
No, Dan Mullen.
Where Dan Mullen at?
I thought Dan Mullen was commentating. He not commentating?
He ain't on somebody. No, is he at North Carolina?
I thought Dan Mullen was commentating.
He might be. He might be. I might just be thinking about his
Hey.
Florida days.
He said West Virginia is cooking, y'all. Yeah, they cooking. If they get all three of them, they cooking.
Yeah, but they ain't got no pipeline.
Dan Mullen returning to college football, reported on YouTube 1 week ago.
They ain't got no pipeline though. Ain't no players in West Virginia.
Yeah, they can get them guys from Marshall.
Yeah.
Huh?
They can get them guys from Marshall.
Oh my God,
I'm
dog.
telling you, West V on the back end with this, bro. Everything is lighting up on my phone as he's saying it, and I'm researching it. So we'd be about our spit on him. So
Hey,
definitely on it.
What was the question again?
Who has the easiest route to the semifinals? I said Penn State.
My fault, Moss. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, you good. You good. I agree with you. Same as well. Penn State. I think they have the easiest.
Whoa, you tripping now, man? Don't talk that. He said Malik Murphy is committed to West Virginia.
Let me
Let me your reporter. You got to be the man, bro. You got to be the man.
He on fire.
He on fire. He showed up on fire.
Wow, hey man, send him a link. Hey, send him a link real quick. Hey, he need a link.
He need a link.
Yeah, he need a link. He need a link. He need to come up here, dog. Who is this guy, man?
I've been actually I've been reaching out. So many subscribers I've been getting in as well. I'm up to almost 70. So we definitely appreciate all the subscribers out there that's tuned in and listening. Evan, the reporter, we appreciate you coming in on this breaking news with all the goodies on West Virginia as well.
Man, they about to it's super team era, bro.
Listen, he said it's expected to be a $4.5 million NIL deal.
Hey, that first round game, I'm just looking at them too, though, just to answer the question real quick. I don't think that Penn State game is the easiest game in the first round for somebody to win.
Right.
I don't really. Y'all know how I feel. I like the first round matchups though, for real.
Well, it got to be Notre Dame then. Notre Dame and Indiana.
No, it's Clemson. I think Texas is gonna smash on Clemson. Yeah, I think Indiana Notre Dame is going to be a better game than Texas and Clemson. And I think the great equalizer, like I always say, is a scrambling quarterback. You never know what's going to happen with a scrambling quarterback. I think them Penn State dudes, they got a defensive line, but that dude he got some wheels on him. He can move around. So I think he could equal that out. I don't think they just gonna be able to just keep on rushing and this and that. You know what I mean? Their best two players on offense is their quarterback and running back. That's how you negate them dudes on the defensive line. So now I think it's that Texas Clemson game, bro. I don't think Clemson got nothing. Their offense ain't got no smoke for that defense that Texas got, and I think they ain't seen nobody just quite like y'all. You know what I mean? So Pat McAfee is financing the full 4 point. Man, Pat McAfee do be spreading out money, man. Is he trolling me, bro? Because them articles, I don't know. I got it's articles, man.
Well, that's where he's from. He's from West Virginia.
I
That's
believe
Pat
you, bro.
McAfee
I
land right
believe
down
you,
there,
bro.
Yeah,
bro.
that's where Pat McAfee from.
Pat
That's where he
McAfee
from.
offered $1 million for a field goal kick, dog. I was like, man, where are you getting
Yeah.
all this money from, dog?
No, listen, dude.
Pat McAfee.
His content creating is off the
Yeah, bro.
chain, bro.
I
Yeah,
know.
I watch him. I
He's rolling with
subscribe to
McDowell,
him.
bro.
I watch him like Pat McAfee, bro. When I say I watch game day just to see who gonna kick that field goal, if they gonna make it. What is he? He's went from 100,000 all the way up to 1 million on the kicks, and I finally seen when a guy kicked the one for 800,000. So like Pat McAfee, he raised the kick up to 800,000, and he
Yeah.
What? And
Hey,
somebody made it?
every
nailed it.
week he be like,
Dude
"This is
nailed it. He
$200,000
increased it,
kick."
and finally, dude nailed it. It was like a 33 yarder, and it was that I want to say it was that week that Texas. I think it was the Texas week when they played.
Texas A&M?
Yeah, it might have been that one or the week before that. I forget which games was on that week before then.
Bro, it was definitely a College Station game. It was at College Station with
Yeah.
Texas A&M. That's all I know because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he nailed the joint.
Wow.
Hey, he got Mr. Beast money, bro.
He got bread. He got bread for sure.
Hey, y'all old heads don't even know who Mr. Beast is, huh?
I don't. That's why that's why I kept it moving, bro. I have no idea who that
Hey,
is.
Mr. Beast is a YouTube streamer for real. It started off at YouTube streaming. Like he said he got like 30 years of videos just on a drive and he could just drop them and he'll always make money. But he literally like he got more than 100 M's. But he got the food too. Y'all ain't never heard of Mr. Beast Burgers?
No.
Wow, I know you haven't, Mr. WTP Sports dude. Yeah, I know you haven't. But Moss, I know you still eat burgers, dog. You supposed to know about Mr. Beast.
I just ate 2 of them bacon cheeseburger deluxe last night. They got Micah Hut. Is that the
That's the 5-star receiver that Texas was trying to get, but he ended up going to Texas Tech. And he hit the portal. He was one of the first ones to hit the portal.
Bro,
Wow,
they're
him and Nick
cheating,
Murphy
bro.
together? Wow.
They're cheating, bro. This is what the portal is.
man?
This is free agency. It's free agency time.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Wow.
Man,
That's not.
I feel bad for all the teams, especially my team that's in the playoffs, because we don't have not near staff to contribute to any of this right now because we're too busy worried about trying to win a championship.
They don't got no GM? Yeah, y'all got somebody to handle that, man.
Bro,
Yeah,
listen.
y'all got to,
You,
bro.
you don't
Y'all
only
ain't that behind.
no.
Y'all
I'm
gotta
telling
have
you,
somebody.
they've been talking about it. We trying to figure out who would be a good GM. Would it be Troy Smith, a guy like him? Like we've been talking about having a GM. We do not have a GM. Our head coach is the GM. That's why he stepped back from play calling.
Wow, I expected it to be a $10 million NIL deal. He only got 2 years left now. They're gonna give him $5 million a year. Woo.
$5 million a year.
Cause he out of there. He out of there after his junior year. He out.
That first year, he gone.
We've been going for over an hour, fellas. Let's answer this last question, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Who wins it all, and why do you think that team wins it all?
Mm.
Man, this is a tough question. I've been trying to figure this one out. I would say for the last couple days, and the only two teams that really come across my mind is Oregon and Texas. I really haven't been sold on one team, but Oregon and Texas are the two teams, and I feel reason why um, they're the most offensive, defensive consistency that I've seen when it comes to those big matchups that count. When you playing big games, even with the two Georgia losses, I still think having those losses on your belt prepares you and knowing that it's going into this playoff, zero tolerance, all or nothing. And Texas and Oregon are the only two teams I feel right now for me that has that potential to win it all.
Evan, I don't know how they got all that money. They might be using some of that toll road money. Because every time you go through West Virginia, you're going to hit hella tolls. That's for sure.
For sure.
They be using that bread to pay them bills.
Man, I'm gonna have to go. I had to go Georgia, and I had to go. I like my Buckeyes chances. Don't get me twisted, but I think the path to us getting to the championship game is so brutal, bro.
Brutal.
We would need some luck on our side. We would need some upsets. We need like Texas to lose to Arizona State just for it. And even at that, like Arizona State is hot, dog. So I don't know. But Georgia, like I'm trying to look at the size of the bracket. Georgia look like they got the best path out of every team on the board for real. Outside of Texas. But Texas, I don't really think they got the easiest path either because, it's looking like they're going to either face Oregon, and up until us losing to Michigan, everybody thought we was the second best team in the country. So you're going to be playing one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country when it really come down to it. We got our power rankings, but we still got to look at the roster and be like, oh, this team got all this talent over here, goddamn it.
Yeah.
We still got to go up against this. So I'm going to say Georgia because I don't think Notre Dame or Indiana got the type of athletes that they got. Nobody on their side of the bracket do. Nope. SMU, Penn State, Boise State, none of them got none of the dudes that they got on their roster. So that's an easy pick. But if I had to say anybody on the other side, man, that whole other side of the bracket is crazy. I would have to say the team that I had the most confidence to make it through that is Oregon. Just because they got that bye. Like, I think Arizona State is so hot, they can probably clip anybody right now if you line it up. But I also think, though, we looked at that 5 seed, but we didn't even take into account, like, man, what happened if somebody run into that next team that's on that other side that's hot? Like, we didn't ever even thought of that. Like, they're really hot, dog. And you just got to be hot at the right moment in sports sometimes. So, I would say Oregon, bro. Oregon and Georgia.
Yeah. I narrowed it down to 4 teams. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia. And guess where Georgia at? They're on the opposite side of all 3 of them teams with an easy-ass path to make it to the national championship game.
Yeah.
And then I said, man, well, Texas has a lot easier road than Ohio State and Tennessee because Ohio State going to have to play a grueling battle against Tennessee, which is going to be a physical battle. Then they got to go and play Oregon. And I'm like, that's going to be a battle. And Texas gets Clemson and Arizona State, which I know Arizona State is hot, but they ain't that damn hot. They going to get their asses tore up. I just play. That's going to be that could be a cakewalk for Texas, really. Clemson and Arizona State could be a cakewalk. It's almost like they're trying to say we want to see Texas, Georgia 3.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's almost like they saying we wanted to see really Alabama or Georgia in that championship game, and we don't care who else is in it. That's what it really sounds like.
Right. Right. Yeah, but I really do want to see how Ohio State comes out of those two games, man, against Tennessee. And if they win that one, Oregon. Because I agree with you. I think that's two grueling battles, man, that they have to face.
Yeah.
They could be a little bit wore out by the time that third game comes, man, against whoever comes from that other part of the bracket, man. So I'm anxious to see how it looks, man. I
Hey,
really am.
I ain't gonna lie. This might be the hardest stretch of games in Ohio State football history. If we can make it through it in football history for Ohio State that we've
Yeah,
ever been through. I've
yeah.
never seen nothing like this.
I mean, because just think about that, man. What if y'all beat Tennessee, then y'all beat Oregon, and then y'all have to face Texas? That would be crazy, bro.
Hey, it's gonna be the greatest championship in college football of all time.
Listen, it would be the greatest
Or run or the
ever.
run. Yeah, for sure. It'll
It
be
would
the
be.
greatest
Listen,
run ever.
nobody would. That may never be matched again. If they can win all four of those games, bro, that
Yeah,
would probably never be matched ever again, man.
that'll be different.
Hey, we done seen my boys do this before though when we won it with Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I
Nobody
mean
had y'all
that
pick
was
to beat
probably one of the
Alabama.
greatest
Yeah,
performances we seen
it,
like in
it
the
was.
last 4 games of a year that we ever seen from a college football team in the 4-team playoff. And that was the very first one. So
Yeah,
we're gonna see what happened, man. I don't put it past us.
Yeah, I mean, y'all got the talent to do it. That's for sure. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
definitely.
All right, Mossberg, take us out, bro.
And for those watching, we definitely appreciate y'all as always. Make sure you go through, flip through all those videos we hitting y'all with, man. Like, comment, check it out, see what we doing, man. We're gonna keep y'all in tune every day throughout the week. Make sure you tuned in. Stay tuned in to Zen Master Zay. We're gonna have more shows coming with him, as well as WTP Sports. Do like and subscribe that page. I'm Level Up Sports 10. We're gonna throw them peace signs up as we always do, and tell y'all peace. We out.
Peace.
Great stream. All love.
All right, fam.